Dear all monks, dear all nuns, and all practitioners, for the meditation, we emphasize on the practice. And our practice, we need to always ask the question so that it can raise the doubt. If the doubt whether or not, we still keep repeating the question constantly. We continue to ask the question. Because of we keep asking, and if we keep the practice going, maintain the practice, we will eventually improve the belief in our own mind, and we not rely on the consciousness. The consciousness will give rise to differentiation, and it will keep us in the duality, and we might like to attach to the self. So the doubt will lead us to enlightenment. So because of the participation in the Dharma and because of the practice, so if we have a determination to practice, even we are about to die, we will keep it and continue. Life. Like the Buddhas taught us to bring forth the Bodhi mind. And bring forth the Bodhi mind is to really let go of the self. So if we bring forth the Bodhi mind, that means the mind of not seeking, of not gaining, of not attaining. So if we bring forth the Bodhi mind, then we'll accomplish the conduct of the Bodhi mind. Now, a lot of times we look back at our practice. Most of the time, we make a lot of assumption, and then most of the time we rely on the consciousness, on our false thoughts, and most of the time we not relying on the complete sutra, but we more likely to follow the incomplete meaning of the sutra. Our consciousness is really very sensitive. When we're thinking about sweeping out all attachment or leave behind all the habits and attachment, the practice will automatically sweep out. Like Ban Long, he taught us the teaching like whatever we have, we let go. Try to let go. Whatever we don't have, don't try to bring it in. or take it in. The Buddha taught us try to rely on the prajna, rely on the wisdom, not the consciousness. The Buddha gave an example like uh, a long way, a long journey. And for a long journey, it will give us all kind of illusion, and then we're more likely to attach, give rise to attachments. The page has mentioned that we should keep the mind, we should practice with a single-mindedly, but we not be able to keep that kind of mind for a long time. We're more likely to change constantly. So on the path of enlightenment, we need to be diligent to keep the practice constantly. So our goal, our objective is to maintain the doubt. So it doesn't matter what kind of circumstances that we're in. We try not to forget asking the question and give rise to doubt. So all the expedients, the skillful means and appreciate, they keep trying to remind us to maintain the practice. A lot of times we not be able to recognize our habits, even though it's a small habits, and we don't let go of these habits. And if we dwell on it, cling to these habits, then we're not improving our practice. So we need to practice correctly according to the Buddha's teaching. So now is the time for sharing. Namo Sakamuni Buddha. We invite Kim Yin to speak. Namo Sakamuni Buddha. Dear all monks, honor, and the rest of the saints. Dear Master, this is how I feel when a few days ago when I listened to this Dharma talk on the practice, I heard you said if during the day, if we practice, the true practice, the true practice is not that much, but the false thoughts and sleepiness and the wood tail, we give rise to wood tail it happens. We give right to others in our mind most of the time. So for my practice, I usually encounter all these habits. So my practice, I feel like I have all these habits: sleepiness, false starts. So can you give me more advice to give me some motivation in the practice? So the advice or the teaching from teachers or from when they keep trying to remind us to build the self, to eradicate the self. So when we give rise to thoughts, when we attach to appearance or sound or any thoughts of differentiation, anything that is still in the duality, thoughts of existent or thought of non-existent, if we rely on this, so most of the time we abide on it. So we just try to go back to the practice. So anytime if there are any attachment or any false thought arise, go back to the practice, try to maintain the practice. So they keep reminding this for us, so then we'll be able to recognize the duality. So when we think that we understand and we must be to fall into the state of assumption. So even if we understand, we get the knowledge about the four states of attachment mentioned in the Langavara still an attachment. So when we listen to the Dharma talk and we be able to recognize what the good advisors have mentioned, and then we need not to go to this way or that way. Be able to try not to fall into this or fall into that. I just try to give an example about a person who tried to keep the ox or the water buffalo from not going to this direction or that direction, try to maintain, try to keep the out of flow. So it's like if we practice and we rise to the Tao and then we attach to it, that's still an attachment. The good no advisors keep mentioning or trying to tell us the Tao will help us to let go of the differentiation thoughts in our mind. And so like a person who try to explain the how good the food is, but without eating, we never know how good the food is. Our practice is not about the understanding, about not about the basic is to always go back to the practice and let go of what you try to say is not dwelling on the understanding or knowledge, not attached to them. If we have the practice, the right practice, we will be able to recognize. So if we that's right, we will rely on the wisdom, not the consciousness. So if we have if we practice right, we will not get attached to appearance or sound, not follow the appearance or sound. And if we practice all the distraction will not bother us. We will not get distracted. We will not get distraction from a lot of things. So perception, false thoughts will keep coming into our mind. And if we keep differentiate, we'll stay in the ignorance, the state of ignorance. So we won't we won't return to our self nature. We need to try to keep the practice going. So if we notice that we maintain the practice or diligent in the practice, that's not it. What is any knowing that come up, we just go back to the practice so that you understand. She said thank you. So now we invite Jing to speak. Dear everyone, I would like to present my practice. Lately, I have a feeling, it's not about the knowledge. It's more like a feeling, more like some kind of perception. It's like an image like I've been walking in the tunnel, and then I feel like there's a light, a ray of light, and then after I cross the tunnel, and this ray of light disappeared. So I feel like a lot of times the teaching from the good advisor like Master Whaley or you, I feel like it's not about the knowledge, it's about some kind of feeling in my mind. I don't know if this is is wrong, right? So the Master says this is the mind making assumption. So the Master said, anything like this, any thoughts coming in our mind, we need to return, to go back to the practice. So anytime we encounter states, if even the good states, keep going back to the practice. But if we have if we attach to the state, a good state, then in the Suragama Sutra, the Buddha mentioned, if we attach to it, then we fall into the demonic state. So our vow, our conduct, we need to keep going, not to get attached to any states. We need to keep going, like walking up to the top of the mountain. We need to go all the way to the top. So like bringing forth the body mind is like if we should not have any attending, should not dwell, abide, or attach to any state. So the teaching from the Buddha, from the Patriarch or good advisor, they keep mentioning about the state that we need to get to is the state where we don't have any attachments, not dwelling anywhere. The mind not dwelling anywhere. So they always try to point out this so that we not attach. So if we attach to assistant, they talk about non-assistant. If we dwell on non-assistant, they talk about assistant. Is to really they want us not to attach to any states. Anywhere we go, any circumstances arise or we encounter, we need to go back to the practice. So if we keep practicing, and there are times when we listen to the Dharma talk or listening to the the Buddha's teaching, real book, the Buddha's teaching, we might like to be able to recognize and to fully comprehend what they really mean. So when we rely on the Buddha Dharma meaning, not about the written text, not about the sutra, not about the teaching, but go back to the practice. So we're not trying to try not to rely on any form, any appearance, any states. Just go back to the practice. That is the right relying on the Dharma. So any condition arise and anything that we encounter will not distract us from our practice. So we not go after the appearance, sound, and appearance. And that is a good practice. So do you understand what I try to say? I understand. Thank you so much. We have 3 minutes left. We invite Pháp Tuệ to speak. Namo Sakamuni Buddha, dear all monks, all nuns, and all practitioners. So after the sharing from the practitioners, so the master keep mentioning about the doubt. So I think doubt has no form, no appearance. So our mind, we have a thought of seeking, and then we go back to the doubt, go back to the practice, and then when we go back to the practice, then I feel like everything will disappear. Anything that inner mind will disappear. So I feel if we keep going back to the practice by asking the question clearly, then so I would like to you to explain this a little bit further. Every one of us, we keep listening this all the time, every day. A lot of time we understand and we continue to the top, but we not yet practice. So in the beginning, we understand the prajna, the written text. But we need to give rise to the contemplation, prajna. So whenever we explain Tao teaching, so this is just considered to be like a bone, a piece of bone. So if we keep the practice going, if the Tao is not in our mind, just keep going. So if we practice right, we eventually will let go, or we leave behind duality. So you keep the practice going. Eventually, we'll get used to the practice, be familiar with the practice. So when we get into this state, all the thoughts, they can come up in our mind, especially false thoughts. They don't come in. Most of the time, we try to practice so that it can give rise to a doubt. But a lot of times, false thoughts just come in. And differentiation thought keep coming to our mind. It's like when we interact condition, especially unfavorable condition, then we get frustrated, we get upset, we get mad about it. So that's because the attachment, the ignorance is still so thick. So it doesn't matter. We just doesn't matter what any distraction that come in our way. Just go back to the practice. And we need to always participate in the Dhamma talk, Dhamma discussion, so that we can practice correctly and according to the principle. If we determine to practice and taking seriously about the birth and death, then eventually we'll get there.
sanh ra thêm cái hiểu biết, mà hiểu biết rồi nghịch lại cái ý của tổ, ý của Phật, cái quan ủ, cho nên trở lại mình chưa thực hành được thì mình phải thực hành cho được, và mình phải làm sao mới nhận diện được cái mặt mũi vô minh ngã chấp đầy ấy của mình á, để mà mình á không có chạy theo nó, mà mình lo.
So we need to practice until we be able to recognize all kind of attachment that we still have. So time is up. Thank you so much, Namo Sakamuni Buddha.